out for the chips, plus the queso. Flow is on fuego. 90s era mentality, and so I'm trying to make hits like Canseco. Juice ball era, hits flying out the ballpark. Haters can't see us, gotta roll back like Walmart. Long darts, javelin, yeah, we all that again. Your flow is recycle, rewind. What's happening?
But hey, shout out to Joel, man. I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just artists that's dumb nice that just don't make the dopest music, you know? And I don't know, you know, I feel like yeah, like him and Crooked, I don't know why they fall on that side of it. Crooked has dope shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he has some projects that I really like, but for whatever reason, you know, I
Like,
yo, if Kwame is still out here, did you see that Kwame is outside right now?
no, I
You know,
didn't.
You know Kwame?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Kwame with the fucking polka dots. Kwame is outside. If Kwame is outside, then Crooked Eye and Joel Ortiz will have their fucking moment. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that Kwame. I just saw a story that Kwame told. Kwame wrote "Switch" for Will Smith,
Oh,
which
really?
you know, yeah, he wrote. Kwame apparently, yo, all these dudes with talent, man, they will find somewhere to land as long as you keep your pen moving, as long as you keep your connections connected. You know, this dude, you know, these just make millions of dollars off of writing for people. You know, that hip hop is ubiquitous, man. You can find somewhere to land as somebody that needs a crazy verse, you know?
I definitely don't want to spend too much time on Will. Will don't write his own shit.
Will just nah, I mean, no. Like Jordan Lucas wrote a bunch of his recent shit. Nah, I think they said Nas wrote Miami. Or wait, did Nas write something? Nah, but Will I guess write some of his own shit, but you know, he's a movie star. I know he was working with Jordan Lucas on his last shit.
He
Kwame
did.
wrote shit. Yeah, the
He
dude not
did.
out here.
That's fine.
Nah.
That's fine. Well, I don't know if you heard that little noise right there. I got one of my homeboys. I asked him to send me his favorite 5 songs of 2025. So we'll end it with that joint.
Oh, cool. Oh
Yeah.
shit, I didn't even I figured we was gonna do that at another time.
Yeah, I just did. I need to put my phone on vibrate or silent or something. I
Hmm.
don't be thinking people be up that morning this early, but then I forget that I text somebody and they actually replying to me. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
explain what the fuck just happened. Anyway, we're talking about rap.
Talking about rap
Like I
and
said, it's been 2 weeks of albums that you were very, very excited about. So I'm just gonna leave the floor to you on.
yeah, I think you said you wanted to set it off on some what are the five albums of the summer so far, or the albums of the year, is what you said, right?
I think it's spurred from I knew you were excited about JID last week and we could talk about that, and I knew you were
Yeah,
excited for Ghost coming out. And
yeah,
you said the conversation about people having that there aren't any songs other summer. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah, yeah,
so to me, it was more
yeah.
about the year.
So
Because when I started looking for songs, I like, hold on, this been an yeah. Let me mention some albums. 'Cause I know you're gonna mention all the generic joints. So let me mention some of these these joints in the cut I've been fucking with. But no, let you go ahead.
yeah, I think so far, and it'll segue into the albums that come out in the last few weeks because uh the five albums of the summer to me, I realized that there are no the five albums of the year really. There's no available spaces. Somebody's gonna have to work really hard to knock one of these five off because it's the obvious ones. It's Clips, it's Tyler, it's JID, um, it's Gunna, and maybe that's a surprise mention, because I think that you probably don't hear me talk a lot about Gunna, um, but I think that album that he just put out is insane.
Oh, really?
That album is insane.
So
It's
I got
first of
a
all, it's like 20 records deep. It's so fun. Remember I told you Larry June and Carter is just so smooth. It's just a smooth ride. That Gunna shit is smooth, man.
really. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't. First of all, I don't really understand why I'm so surprised. I got up my homeboy, B More Zach. He's commented like he actually likes this show. Like I put out a lot of stuff, and this is one he actually like. Oh, I like this one, so that's kind of funny. But he
Nice.
was like, he told me a couple weeks ago that Gunna album goes, and I was like,
It's
yeah.
tough.
And
It's
I
so
don't think I really gave Gunna's last album a try. I just realized, oh, he ain't that whack. That's cool. And I'm good on that. But if you say
yeah,
it like that, I'm gonna go ahead and he put out a lot of goddamn. How many tracks on the joint?
like 20.
That's
That's
why.
a lot.
When I scroll down, see that many, I'm not gonna add it to. No, I'm not adding it to my library. It's
We're
too,
gonna we're gonna talk about. I want to talk about that too, but about listening to shit because I realize I'm trying to digest so much music for the show. It's really difficult for me to digest music the way that I need to really hear
used to.
these projects. It's hard to listen to 20 songs, 10, even 10, 15 songs to really listen to them and really kind of vibe with them and understand them. Um, for people that have full-time jobs and families and do all that shit, like it's not okay for an album to come out on Thursday and for Saturday you'd be like, okay, here's my review.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if you've heard it 5 times, like it's just not. Like I don't feel the same way about the Clips album as I did when it came out on the weekend, because I just got some time to listen to it. But yeah, and then the fifth album is Freddie Gibbs. Obviously, Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist would be the fifth one. So Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist, Clips, JID, Tyler, and Gunna. To me, I feel like those five is set in stone, and I really wanted to add a spot in there for Smoke DZA because those two projects, the On My Way to Berlin and the Barcelona tape, are just so crazy. The Barcelona tape is so nuts. I just told myself, I was like, these are kind of mixtapes, so maybe I could just, we'll just say that those are honorable mention. And also Chance the Rapper's new album,
That sounds good.
which I haven't fully gotten through it with, but he's really going in on this. And Chance the Rapper is really talking about something important on this album. He's got a few joints that I was really like, I had to stop, like, oh no, this is very serious. So those are my for me. And yeah, the thing I was most excited about is JID. JID's got album of the year, I think. I think JID's album is man, first of all, he's so nice. The Shaq meme that I didn't recognize your game, uh I knew, I know he's not a slouch, but like JID is like SGA to me out of these albums of the year. Like every like Clips, obviously, like if you put everybody together as if they was an individual performer, JID would be the MVP. Like what JID did on this album would be, to me, is like MVP level shit. And just the album, just there's just so many textures. There's just so many moments. I know Clip's got a lot of moments on their album too, but like there's just so many moments. There's so many different flows. There's so many different kind of beats. He got the joint where he's singing, rapping in Spanish because Jesse Reyes's grandmother gave them the. He said that Jesse Reyes called her grandmother to get the right slang and the right words to say in Spanish, and they're rapping in Spanish. He got P. Troy on there. He got P. Troy on there, and that shit is crazy. That record with P. Troy. He got Clips on there. He got the one with Vince Staples. We don't talk about enough on this show because Vince Staples is one of the nicest dudes out here.
Yeah.
So I think JID's album is album of the year, and even when Nas's new album comes out this summer, I don't know how anybody's knocking these five off the list.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I guess this is my albums of the year or favorite albums of the year. 'Cause I think with everything, I think that's what it is. You'll give the top, and I'll give my fave.
No doubt.
Because I really think that's just how I look at music. With JID project, I was definitely, so I was like, yo, I can say why is everybody loving this joint this much? I'm like, yo, I'm just like, I wasn't at the point that y'all were at, you know what I mean? But then when you broke down what made his album dope,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that there's so many different type of songs, the fact that
Mm-hmm.
there's so many different type of flows, the fact
Mm-hmm.
that the features are fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, yes. And it's funny, like I have to hear that for it to make sense.
Right.
When you were saying earlier about how we consume music, and it's like we aren't able to give it like an actual good review of it so soon. I think because we come from an era where you sat with the album for so long before
Right.
the album came out. Like the fact that two fire albums came out in a day was like the biggest thing in the world back in the day. compared
Oh
to
man, that
now,
was
where
yeah.
like now you fuck around and get a Friday where it's like 4 artists that you fuck with that you have to figure out a way to check out this music.
And it's been every week like that.
Yes, like this something. And this is so I made a list for the year. I'm not gonna say the song. I made a list for the year for songs and for albums. So if you want that, we can get that after this. But
Whatever.
going through, like going back to January, and just looking at all the albums that I downloaded,
Mm.
I'm like, yo, this year's been crazy. And
It's
you've
been
been saying
insane.
that since we've been doing this. Like
Right.
this year's been crazy. So I go and get into it. My album of the year is Glockavelli. I don't care.
Mm.
Like this. And what's funny about it is when I was looking for a song to put on my favorite songs of the year, I got to like track 9 before I was like, all 8 of those was like, I love all of them the same. Like all of them were fire, all bangers. You know what I mean? So I'm like, hold on. This album is crazy. So
Mm.
Glockavelli, Take Care Deluxe by Big X the Plug.
Mm.
I'm not sure whether both of those albums dropped in 2024 and the deluxe version came out in 2025,
Mm-hmm.
but both of those were deluxe. Food for the Soul by John Connor.
Mm. Damn, he got an album out. I didn't even see it.
The funny thing about it, I think this nigga put out 3. I'm sure he put out 2 because I stumbled across the second one. Like, hold on, which one is it? But Food for the Soul, that's the first one he dropped this
John
year.
Connor's nice.
Yes, yeah. And it's like, that's another thing we'll get to when we get to the songs. It's like, artists put out fire songs that will be bangers, but it's like, for one, they don't get eyes like that. And for two, that's not what you expect from them. So it's not a banger, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The internet is fake. Like,
Yo,
like,
yes, absolutely, man.
yeah.
Yeah, shout to Radio B, man. That, like I said, I don't know if there's a more important album. I think Chance the Rapper's album you could put in there, and we'll talk about why in a second. As far as like an important record,
Mhm.
but Radio B has, out of all these albums, and as incredible as they are, Radio B has one of the most important albums this year that needs to be heard.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers need to hear that shit.
And like you say, we need to put this in parentheses under our show title of, we don't say this shit just to be cool. Like, we really think this album is like that much of a caliber album that y'all just don't haven't had a chance to
If
get.
I was doing this to be cool, I would have went out to one of his events and be like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Dave. I'm the guy who talked about you on your show, on my show." He don't even know who the fuck I am. If I bumped into him in Kroger, he would walk right past me.
Yeah, but my fifth one, I Took It Personal by Nick Grant.
Yeah, I knew
And
he
I
was gonna
think
say that. Yep.
and I think a lot of it had to do with anticipation and that it lived up to it.
Yeah,
But
he came
but
with it.
and I say that because I had Stabbed and Shot 2 on
Mhm.
here, but that was all about anticipation. And I'm not gonna say it didn't live up to what I thought it would be.
Was that this year? I thought it was 2024. That was this year?
When I look back, it is say 2025. I could be
Okay.
wrong. So that and It Feels Good to Win by RJ Payne.
Mm.
Them three are like right there for that fifth spot
Mm.
because I can't count. And I love music that much. But so did you want to get? Did you have anything? We'll go ahead and talk about Chance Short. My bad.
So Chance, so the reason why Chance the Rapper's album is important is because, Chance obviously is a superstar, and I think that Chance is a very important artist because he is so multi-talented, and also he's just sort of an iconic figure. Like, he just took off when he came out. People really, I feel like he's one of those artists that hip hop needs, like how the NBA needs the Knicks to be relevant. Just the NBA needs the Knicks and the Lakers to be relevant. Like, I think hip hop is better when Chance the Rapper is doing shit. And I think that he made that album about his wife, and the shit bricked so hard, and everybody hated it so much that he just kind of disappeared for a little while, which I also kind of thought that was a cool thing to do. Like, don't be out here in everybody's face acting like fuck you. Like, if something didn't resonate, just go back, just take that L and just chill the fuck out a little while, and sit with something. And I feel like he did that, which was cool. Um, so he has specifically a song on here called, two songs back to back called "No More Old Men" and "The Negro Problem."
Mm.
And those two fucking songs back to back, "No More Old Men" as in like me and you, as in like, the concept that if you hit 25, you are OG, and that these streets, the way that we are in society, that, there's just not going to be no more old men anymore, because essentially black men are extinct, or endangered species rather. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard not to feel that way when you watch the federal government deploying the National Guard in Washington D.C. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard that album in the context of seeing the military in the middle of the fucking streets, militarizing and basically making it illegal to be black and poor, you know and so I felt like, damn, like what a relevant thing. And then the Negro problem also specifically, and I haven't fully, I would like to hear these songs like 5 more times to really give you the breakdown of them, but the Negro problem is also just a super relevant record that needs to be heard right now. And so the fact that Chance is who he is and has come back to form, he's just one of the most talented artists we have, and remember we talk about how talented 38 Special is. He's just one of these dudes that just is it. He's just got star power. Like you look at him, he's like he's got it, and so I feel like Chance, just his reemergence, and also the shit that he's talking about on the record. He's this perfect combination of, a church kid, not a gangster, but from Chicago and very much outside and very much knows what the fuck is going on. So that's how I feel about that Chance album. And yeah, I'm excited to keep spinning that shit. He deserves a lot of props for this project.
All right. I like that. I like that.
And shout out
Um,
to my Death Row. I mentioned the tease. It got the Death Row Christmas. Got the Death Row Christmas, John. I forgot I had this junk. You know what I
that's
mean? Got
fine.
the Santa on the Death Row chair. You heard?
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, you see one of the illest intros ever, dog. Like when that nigga say, "Yo, check, let's make something happen." Do
What? Who?
you see the date? Jadakiss
Oh
verse?
yeah, yeah. Oh yo,
Yo,
that's
when
what
he
that.
said that, yo,
That's
that's
dope. Yeah,
crazy, yo.
that's it. That's the fire shit, right?
Yo, I mean, like Tech put this up on his site. I like, yo, I need one of those. He's like, oh yeah, I got them. I was like, oh yeah,
Yep.
definitely, yo. This
Yeah,
joint,
yeah, yeah.
that's
That shit's
all right.
fire.
So, songs again. Do you have
Mhm.
songs for 2025? Do you have songs of the summer? 'Cause, like, again, like it all started because this summer's just been crazy. You know what I mean?
Did you see what I sent you? That what Erick Sermon was talking about?
Yeah, I didn't click on it. My bad. First of all, I was busy when I saw it. That's why I didn't click on it. Secondly, I do that a lot. And thirdly, I don't like Eric Sherman, so that kind of was a turn off. But go ahead.
Erick Sermon, I guess he's putting out an album of and it's
See?
an album of duos.
Mm.
So he's putting out, I guess he's producing it, and it's an album of a bunch of duos. And in the live that he did, he was basically just saying what we've been saying. He's like, "Yo, man, this moment is about us now. Like us older artists, we took the fucking ball from y'all, and we took the ball from y'all because y'all wasn't doing shit. Y'all wasn't talking about shit. Y'all was making whack ass music. Everybody was complaining about y'all,
Mm.
and we took the fucking ball, and it's our ball now. We running with this shit." And so I just wanted to um I wanted to hit you with that because that's what this summer, and I feel like, yo, shout out to our show, man. I feel like we talked about it before anybody else did. It was our very first episode where we said, yo, this moment is happening right now. Somebody needs to talk about this moment. And now this moment is exploded. And I'm not going to hit on this too long because I remember I'm going to introduce a new segment called Shit That I Don't Want to Talk About. And the shit that I don't want to talk about is Cardi B's new song. Everybody wanted to talk about her Imaginary Player remake, and why she should have did it, why she did, and did she float on it or whatever. Here's the thing, boss. Nobody wants to talk. I don't want to hear you impersonating Jay-Z with somebody else's lyrics. This moment is not about that. This moment is about fucking coming to the game with substance and spitting. Like, read the room. Read the room this summer. Nobody wants to hear you rapping your fucking ghost written lyrics, remaking a classic that one of the greatest spitters in the game
made. This is literally one of his most classic records. The only reason Jay let Cardi even touch this is because he wanted to let her throw shots at Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? Like she's lucky that Jay even cleared this. In the
So are you saying I can click on it or not? Because I haven't heard it.
Bro, it's a waste of fucking time. I mean, you know how you know somebody's ghost has a ghostwriter because you can't hear their flows. Like I hear the flow of whoever it is that wrote this shit, and it ain't her. You know what I'm saying? Like Drake, for all the shit that shots that people throw at Drake, you know Drake's flow. I've been hearing Drake rhymes since 2010. I know what his shit sounds like. I know what Kendrick's shit sounds like. I know what Lil Wayne's flow sounds like. I know what 2 Chainz sounds like. I can
So
close my
whoa,
eyes and you can change
whoa.
the I can hear it.
I don't. I'm not. Ooh, that was my take too. I'll say that was. Wayne. If Wayne writes for Baby, do you hear Wayne flow? Because if so, he's very fucking talented to
I
do
think that
like that
Wayne
trash and like. I,
I think that Wayne is extremely, yeah, first of all, Wayne does write for Baby. And I think that Wayne is extremely talented at being a ghostwriter because a big part of being a ghostwriter is not just writing lyrics for yourself and letting somebody else rap them. A big part of it is being able to put yourself in the personality of that other person. And also, I mean, he basically created an alter ego for another person. And the
that's
flow kind of
dope.
goes along with that. You know what I'm saying? A part of why Baby sounds so lazy is because he delivers it so whack. You know, he like Diddy. You know,
So
like
Wayne probably be pissed off every time he get this shit. Like, yo,
you know, I mean, I
that's
don't know.
not
It's almost, you know, Baby has his own personality to the way that he spits it. I think Diddy does a really good job of rapping,
whoever that
of
is.
making it sound like it might have been you. Dr. Dre does a really good job of delivery.
And
Dr.
that's his
Dre
Eminem
works
right.
really hard at the delivery. Like
Yeah, I
he
mean that's
probably does.
you can hear when it's in right form. You know,
Yeah, yeah. Of course.
but
Sometimes
with
you just
Diddy,
can't help it. You know, you
yeah,
can. It's like, bro, you did not. And with Cardi, that's how I feel. Like she has a line in there. She has a bunch of lines in there where it's like, I know for a fact that you didn't write this because I've never heard you sound anything close to this. And also, that's how I feel. And low key, I said it at the time with Snoop's most recent album, that missionary shit.
I know.
I was like, yo, who wrote this? I've never heard Snoop rap like this.
Yeah,
And not like Snoop rapping like this as in like, oh, he stepped his talent level up. Just the flows and the way that
he
in
did.
his patterns and the bars. I was like, I ain't never heard Snoop rap like this. I feel like somebody got in the booth for him or somebody wrote this shit for him. So in that vein, I don't want to talk about Cardi's record because
That's
it
the
very,
man.
very clearly misses the fucking moment. And when you don't write your own lyrics, you can't respond to the moment. You can't be listening to shit all summer and get in the studio and drop something next week because you got to call your ghostwriter and then you got to clear the record with your label and then put it out. By the time you do that, it's too fucking late. So I don't want to talk about that shit. So that is not going to be one of the songs that I mentioned because I don't give a fuck about that shit.
All right, well, 4 songs. You want to go first? You want to hear my songs you never heard of first?
Um, yeah, you go ahead and give me some songs.
All right. It's funny when I look at it. It's not as generic as. Listen to my demo by Jordan Lucas off his latest album.
Okay.
That's probably my favorite song, my favorite story of the year
Mhm.
behind 2 a.m. by Big X the Plug.
Mm.
Just
Yo,
listen.
that's the plug. Did you hear that he has a song that somebody else wrote?
I did first. Well, I don't know because he was in the interview saying that yeah he
He
used
said it. He's like, yeah, somebody else wrote that. My artist wrote that. I'm glad that he just so freely admitted it. I'm not
yeah.
trying to question his pen, but he does have a song that somebody else wrote.
He said, I think on Largest, he said he had a ghostwriter on it. And I didn't, and a lot of time when I hear those type of statements, depending on who it is, and I think it goes off whether I like you or not, I'm like, oh, he need to help on the hook. Like, I really just be thinking that's what it is, and I don't be
Mm.
thinking that, no, niggas be like, yo, here's a track, you can do it. Yo, when I was listening to, so nothing, what's the song that, well, I think it was Bruno Mars and B.O.B. had way back in the day, Nothing on You?
Yeah.
When that song came on, I was like, yo, I really would have rather heard Wale on this.
Mm.
Before B.O.B. started rapping. And it's funny, like, that's what I started realizing and looking at the game kind of different. Like, oh, yeah, just hearing about the whole pool situation. And that was the song that kind of put me onto the whole situation. They kind of pissed me off. But yeah, I get the rabbit on that. My second one is Step With It by Deontay Hitchcock. And it's funny because you talking about a summer feel. Like, and that's what I mean by people that really don't get known. So they'll put out a banging ass song that really could rock the whole summer, but nobody would hear it. DJs wouldn't play it, like that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I really think, like, go listen to it. We're gonna make a playlist for you.
I was gonna say I'm gonna have to go back and listen to all this shit you're
Yeah,
saying because I never heard none of these.
this song definitely feels like the summer. Is Anybody Real off a radio joint? Again, I'm not saying this shit to be cool, but man, you listen to it, you was like, yo, this is a song. You know what I mean? Where to Start by Wale.
Yo, yes, yeah, that's one I have heard, and I've been bumping that shit hard with the SWV sample.
Yes,
that shit
and it's
fire.
like it came out right after the whole situation with Casanat. So I was happy about the fact that it seemed like he just had something to cut to like remind niggas, but it's like,
yeah, fuck Kai's not for that shit, man. You fucking corny ass nigga, man. Like if you was trying to curve him on purpose, you corny for that. And if you don't know who Wale is, you even more corny for that. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You're not 10 years old. You should know who Wale is. You should know what he looked like. He was a fucking star. Relax, bro. You ain't that serious, man. These fucking streamers are so corny, bro. All of them. They're so corny. They're so corny. People just sit around and watch you sit around and watch something else.
Yo,
this shit is so whack.
Speaking of corny, my last song, because I really did enjoy this song, Don't Be Mad at Me. Summer. Summer, where you been at?
Oh, yeah. Because you saw what I said about that.
Yeah, I saw what you said about that. So it was even funnier when I had this on my list because I like really enjoyed that fucking song. But like,
it's not whack. Yeah, like he created his little niche with talking about summer. I just think people forgot that he did that as a response to Jay-Z to be like, oh, you think you own the summer? I own the summer. And it's just so very much in the vein of what Jim Jones does.
Jim Jones
bites off shit and then runs with it. And nobody cares because everybody loves Jim, you know?
Yeah, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's in the vein of what's the nigga I don't like? That does the wrap-ups now?
Oh,
Brooklyn. So it's in the vein of Uncle Murder doing wrap-ups.
Uncle Murder, yeah.
Fields was out here doing them perfectly. It's the same fucking thing, dog. Like Hove did that joint, and you wanted to bite off that, and niggas tend to forget. Like, but it came from this. Like, it came from actual good quality. Like, this nigga just rapped for 10 minutes about what happened this whole entire year. And you like me on this list. That happened this year. But yeah, in 1982, Banks featuring Ransom. Like I said, we're gonna make a playlist, but that joint.
No doubt.
What are your bangers of the year?
So definitely I gotta put no more old men in the Negro Problem. I gotta make them like one song, like just say right back to back, tweet each other on there. And I feel like those songs hit me real heavy, very impactful. A song that I feel like people feel like has verse of the year is I'm gonna pull it up here, is The Omerta, Raekwon and Nas. That Nas verse on there is people. I think I've seen it floating around there. It got a lot of attention. That's basically like verse of the year. Like that joint. He just fucking skated for like 2 minutes at the end. Just really just going in like that. So that joint was crazy.
Real time bars too. I feel like Nas, all his latest songs been real time bars. Like, yo, this is what I'm doing. Like, you see what's going on type shit.
Yeah. And and then of course he stole the Clips album at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like he stole the show right at the end, and the way that they gave him the change up of the beat, and then that verse that he put on there. He's got a verse. Nas has a verse on every important album this year except for JID shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody. This moment is about all the stuff that we've been talking about, but this moment is also very much about Nas. Like this is a major celebration about for what Nas has accomplished. People are respecting what he's accomplished, and also he's got his stamp on all of these records. So the next one, and I mean, God, like you can just pick
any one of these fucking songs from the Clips album, but I'm gonna say So Be It. Um, So Be It, So Be It is just, I mean, I don't even really have to talk too much about that shit. Like, that record is just, the fucking beat is just like the perfect combination of Clips and Pharrell just in their bag on that record. And I feel like I really like it specifically because I've never heard Pharrell do anything that's even close to that. And also, like, I think that's a big part of what makes this Clips album so dope is that Pharrell is really touching on textures that he's himself has never really fucked with.
And
So
that's a statement for a producer like Pharrell, who's out the box already.
but Pharrell can do that whenever he wants, and that's such a brilliant part about him is that he can visit the trap. He could go to Miami Beach, he could go to California, he could do whatever the fuck you want to do. And when you a dude like him that can touch every instrument that's just been outside like that, like he could just, what I mean? It's just, I'm never surprised by that dude. I'm just happy he's around. Um, I really like this record, Community, the JID shit with him and Clips. And I feel like I don't know who's the first verse on there, but I feel like that's Crit. It sounds exactly like Crit on there. The first verse on there where he says,
He put up
shit.
didn't he put up the features like 2 weeks later?
Yeah, the features are up and his name isn't in there, but he's the first verse. And I swear to God, that sounds like Crit. He's like, I don't give a fuck about the da, da, da. Like he sets it off
I
like
gotta
that.
re-listen to it then. It's
I'm
great,
like,
right?
damn, that's not Crit. Because when I really enjoyed that the features weren't up, because I had to like, I was like, oh shit, like I kept hearing them. And and Vince, the shout out to the joint with Vince Staples too, man, because wow, like, again, Vince, we had an episode with the nicest cast that we've never talked about, and somehow Vince didn't get mentioned, so now Vince is the nicest cat that we've never talked about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and here's um a record that I think we're gonna be hearing on the radio at some point soon. Is the very first song on Gunna's album,
Mm.
the Many Nights, like the way he sets that off, Many Nights. And like I love the melodies that he does. You know what I'm saying? Like I
I'm
realize
listening
that's
to
one of
Gunna today. That's so funny to me, man.
yeah. I realize that that's one of the things about him that I really like is the way that he's just got a dope sounding voice, and he sounds like he could sing a little something. So I really like it's shit when I'm scrolling through something to listen to, like, and I see that album cover, I click on the shit right away just because, like, I know I'm gonna hear many nights, dun, 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 dun. Like, I just know the shit. When you go through it, you're just gonna want to float. Like, it's just 20 records of just floating ride music. You know what I mean? Like, not and it's a lot of the same vibe. So if you're gonna criticize it as that, but the vibe is just super dope and super needed to me, so I really enjoy that. um I don't know, I think I did what was that, I think I did 4 songs there. And I'm gonna say on my fifth one, which is not even really a song, it's not a song at all, but the Cyhi to Prince LA Leakers freestyle that he did, I I don't even know what to say, man. And then he went and followed it up with the bootleg Kev freestyle that he did. You just, yo, man, I just felt like the earth stood still for a day after that freestyle came out. Everybody was like, yo, like, yo, man, what the fuck did he just say? Like, he just, oh, man.
I thought it was about to be a summer of freestyles too, because I think Nick Grant followed him up. And then I
Yo,
think somebody else with some bars followed up. So I thought it was about to be a summer of freestyles also, you know what I mean?
we need to speak on the freestyles that have happened also, because there's a lot of those that have happened. And
That's
that was just a moment. That
that's
was
next
just
week's list.
Yeah. You got to do more research on that. You can't just scroll through your
Exactly.
Apple Music. If you're gonna find freestyles, you got to really find them shits.
You'll be pissed off as soon as we log off. They're like, how did I not mention that, yo? And we be
Yeah.
anyway. We do homework and still leave with that sentiment. Dog. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. These lists are incomplete, and the records, obviously, Smoke DZA, those two records deserve real praise. The Larry and Two Chains album still knocks. And Rome Streets and Conductor. That album's fire.
Yeah.
That album's fire. It's not on my list, but it's definitely an honorable mention for sure. And he got records on there too, like actual like bangers that could easily be brought up in all of these. Like I said,
It's funny because I don't think I really liked him when I first started hearing him on Ransom joints. Then I went ahead and checked out one of his individual joints. Like, oh, the dude can kind of flow. And then the more and more he put out, like, oh, I do solidify. I fuck with this.
He's nice, and that album specifically is real dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Before we get out of here, my take. I don't think we'd have been talking about Wayne being the best rapper alive if Wayne wouldn't have told us he was the best rapper alive.
Yeah, man. I don't need man. Like people be trying to put their own foot in the shoe instead of us putting the foot on the shoe for you, or at least giving you because you just could. He's not like. I mean, I appreciate you bringing it up so I could just confirm that that's not you. You're just not. And then one thing that we're not talking about, we should be talking about the Carter 6, but that shit was so whack. You know what I mean? Like so many people hated it.
His shit's come and go. Since Carter 3, them shits just come and go. And it's funny because that song that Let It All Work Out, I had no idea. What album was that on? Like, was that on 5 or 4 or something? Like, that's an amazing song that I probably never made it to because I don't finish Wayne albums anymore, dog. Like, I just don't.
It was a lot of songs. A lot of them was whack. The only reason people remember that album from this year is because of how whack it was. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not the greatest of anything. Like, I know that, again, not going to take anything away from him.
Right.
Wayne is one of the greatest to ever do it for sure. And he won the shit out. He won me over because he was not going to be on my radar. I really wasn't fucking with him at all. And it's because, I'm from New York and I didn't really understand the vibes. I remember Deontay Kyle has been saying on shout out to Grits and Eggs podcast, by the way. If you haven't heard the Grits and Eggs podcast, the most recent one where he's talking about DC and what's happening in DC, I think it's one of the most important podcast episodes that I've heard this year. But they touch on a lot of music stuff. And Deontay Kyle basically saying, I don't want to hear white people talking about hip hop music. Like, I don't care about your opinions. And that falls into me. Like, that's, I'm not white, obviously, but like before I moved to Virginia, I just didn't have an understanding of South music. And so basically, like, I would be like, oh man, this shit is whack. Fucking Coochie, man, this shit is whack. Like, that's why he's like, I don't want to hear white people talk about hip hop music. Is because, like, if you're not from it, you might not understand it, essentially. And it took me coming down here. It took me fucking with y'all. It took me really Drake opened my eyes to a whole lot, a whole lot of music. Drake made me listen to more rappers from the South. And I know he's not from the South, but that's kind of what started me with it. You know what I mean?
I don't know whether that's a list in itself. Like 5 rappers that kind of put you on to like different type. Or like 5 rappers who people wouldn't think that you listen to. I think that'd be a list.
Yeah, you said that, and I have a few that I'll bring up, and we could do that next week. But I'll say this: when I first moved here, we might have met maybe a few times. I was at the pool, and somebody was playing 3-6, and I remember 3-6 just from having goofy ass album covers in the source. It looked goofy as fuck to me. And shout out to Juicy J because he has a jazz album that came out.
Motherfucker.
That shit is actually dope.
The way I want to just go buy records to clean up to, just after listening to that album, that project is and like on like track 6, he raps on it, and it didn't mess up anything.
He raps on a few of them,
and it goes with the vibe of the entire album. So yeah, like I didn't get to finish it, but yes, that album.
Juicy J's a real
musician. I'm
I
glad
know
you
he's goofy. He look goofy and shit, and he's always on
Juicy.
drugs and bitches. Juicy J's a real dude out here.
Yeah.
Juicy J's a pioneer. Juicy J's a fucking legend, and he's a real musician.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah. He got 3 albums. He got the Head on the Swivel album by himself. He got
yep,
the Joint with Logic.
yep.
That's a good ass project,
You
regardless
said
of
that.
Logic.
You
And
said
then the
that.
Jazz Joint, and it's like I'm pretty sure it's months left. So he fuck around, put something else out, dog. Like
I appreciate that he's out here doing shit like that. And so I was in the pool like 2005, and I was like, "Yo," I was like, that's three? I guess that's 3 6 Mafia, and because I heard Project Pat's voice and everything, I was like, damn, this shit fire. And all of a sudden, I looked around in my surroundings, being in Virginia, a New York kid in Virginia. I looked around at the cars. I looked around at the white ass kid who was playing it. I was like, oh. I was like, maybe it's you. Maybe you don't fucking understand. So when Deontay Kyle said, I don't want to hear white people rating, because there's so many white people that get on YouTube and do their ratings and how they feel about hip hop music. It's like hip hop music wouldn't be what it is without white people, you know what I'm saying? Without their acceptance of us and everything. But I understand him saying that. And I feel like me, myself, could have fell in that category a little bit too of, hey, you don't understand this shit, so don't talk about it. But I'm too much of it. You know what I mean? I'm of it. I am it. You know what I mean? I am hip hop. So, you know what I mean? And I'm glad I moved to Virginia so I could understand shit more and I could talk to brothers like you know what I mean? And understand this culture of the South and how dope it really is. You know what I'm saying? Because now I understand Texas. I used to be, why the fuck is they always talking about the candy paint and the swishes and goddamn, like every fucking rap. And now I understand, like, oh yeah, because that's life down here. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
like
Like if your
shout
car
out.
is whack, then you whack. You know what I'm saying? Like if your car is whack and you ain't got no fresh, it's just like in New York. If you ain't got no fresh, don't come outside. Even if you pour from the projects and if your gear ain't tight, don't come outside. It's like the same. If you ain't got no if you ain't got no rims on your whip and your car is whack, you know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here.
That's funny because in VA, like we will hop out of a whip with rims sparkling, shining with a white tee on and some regular kicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's compared to like up there, like you hopping out, you walking up the crib with some the freshest shit we ever seen. This you not even hopping in the car.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean? Like that's it is like I say, it's all regional. Like I about to say
Yeah.
shout out to college because college kind of put me on to different types
Yeah.
music. You know what I mean? Just seeing like why, like I don't understand why you like this that much, and then just being able to sit with it yourself. Like, oh, okay, yeah, just, I understand it a little bit. You know what I
Word
mean?
out.
Like shout out to hip hop, man. Yeah, we talking about rap, and
Talk
I
about
think
rap.
people understand like why there's a question mark and an explanation point behind we talking about rap.
Yeah.
It's because like our passion and love for hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like hip hop is really what we talking about, but yeah, I just leave it at that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we talking about rap.
Yeah, we talking about rap. Yep.
I was saying it's funny how we both yell out Yawa, and neither one of us really rock with Joel Ortiz anymore. Is that
Yeah.
a NY regional thing or what?
Is what is
Yeah.
the Yawa?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't think none of my guys up there say that shit. I think that's just a me and you thing.
Okay. Yeah, we got it from Joel, so I didn't know whether, you know what I mean, it's a part of New York they said it.
Oh, nah, that's a him thing. Like
Okay.
he definitely Yawa, like that's definitely him, the way he says it. And then I think I don't know if me and you might be the only two people in the world that still say that shit.
Are you a black business owner? Are you a black business supporter? Or maybe you're a black business owner supporting other black businesses. Are you supporting a black business owner whose business is supporting the business of being black? Whether you own it, support it, or live it, rock the shirt that says it all. Available now. Because we just don't do business. We are the business. Yeah, you're here, but in case you didn't know, Monday, recaps drop. Big plays, big moments, we talking about it all. Wednesdays, 4 for 10. Real convos from the flag field to behind the lens. Thursdays, cousins talking business, hustle, heart, and game plans. Saturday, we talking about rap, bars, beats, real hip-hop convos. Subscribe now. Content moving all week, and you don't want to miss none of it. Now, Talm Bout.